Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing an actual sit down talk to you guys kind of video, and I'm going to be telling you how I revised for English Literature GCSE because I got a grade 9 somehow, like don't even know, but I was never very confident in it. So like if I share with you guys some of my revision techniques, those of you who also don't feel confident might be able to do better than you thought. After getting that grade, a lot of you guys like asked me to do this video, so since I had done quite well, I was gonna share with you how I managed to go from like zero confidence to like doing alright. I'm gonna be sharing with you how I revised and lots of techniques which I found effective, and I'm gonna try and make this video a bit different to all the other ones. I'm gonna tell you guys some tips that I've not heard before, along with all the basic ones which you can't really have an English literature video without. So I've got a long list of tips, so this is going to be a long video and I'm going to cut right to it and tell you how I revised. The first means of revision, which you could kind of do on its own and not do anything else, was YouTube videos. So predominantly Mr. Bruff, but there are other ones. I'm going to link all these down below, by the way. So starting off with Mr. Bruff, he was really good. He kind of researched everything really thoroughly. He has like every single book on there basically. All the poems are like exceptional, like not gonna lie. Without him I wouldn't have done as well because my poetry would have been crap. He does revision songs. If you can't learn quotes, you can learn his revision song, which will help you remember the quotes. He does like everything, so anything you want, you can go onto his channel and watch his videos. If you really struggle with like English analysis, if you pick a load of quotes and then you have him analyse them, like if you use the quotes he analyses and you remember the analysis, you don't need to revise that quote in the exam. All you need to do is link it to the question. Another great English channel was Mr. Sells Teaches English. His videos, I actually really liked his language videos, but as this is a literature video, I can do a language video if you guys would like, but as this is a literature video, like he did mostly, I don't think I looked into his channel too much for literature, but he did do Inspector Calls, and he went through the mark schemes like so that I actually understood them, because I never really understood them before, and gave you like tips, like good tips about how to like use like how things to do which would actually get you like a better grade, like not just like, oh, use analysis, because like obviously you have to do that. And the third and final YouTuber whose videos were really good, but I think all he did was Inspector Calls and then maybe Christmas Carol, I'm not sure, but that was Mr. Taylor, and I don't think you guys will have heard of him. I did use him when I did my April study with me back in April, when that's literally the first video on my channel, so I mean you can go watch it, but it's not very good. But yeah, I used him, and he's kind of put a little bit of humour into the videos so they weren't as boring to watch, and he had some good analysis. So I'd really recommend those three. Go check them Go and check them out down below. Another good source of information was BBC BITESIZE. It went through every single character and every theme and gave you a few bullet points and a few quotes. And it also had the plot analysis and some context, so it's kind of like the bare minimum. Everything's on there, so I kind of went through there and made notes on it all and put them on my mind maps, and then added to them later with like Mr. Bruff's videos and all the other videos. Another great place to get information, which you probably will not have thought of, is, I'm going to use this book as like an example. So if you've got your English book and you go to the front of it, there's like bits here like about the play and no one reads them, but there's some really good stuff in there. So I like got literally stuff like Bible quotes that were linked to my Shakespeare book. So I managed to get some like really obscure points from here, and it is like a bit of a waffle, but if you go through and highlight some of the things that you think are important, there's some like decent stuff in there. It'll take you like maybe half an hour, and you will find like all sorts of obscure things your teacher, Mr. Bruff, BBC BITESIZE never told you. So I wrote like stuff that I found in the index. It's not the index, I don't know what it is, but the stuff at the front in my Shakespeare exam, and it was like stuff that linked to Bible quotes like "Thou shalt love my neighbours" or "not trespass" or whatever it is. And I thought that exam went badly, but hopefully that was the thing that redeemed it. So read through here, highlight it a bit, write down some things that you think are important, and you will do well, especially in Shakespeare. Something you can't really do English without is mind maps. So this is my shield on my map. You guys might have seen it before. It's in one of my videos. So for each character and theme, and if you want the author and the context, do a little mind map, add some quotes, add a bit of analysis, so your point, your quote, your analysis. You can use BBC BITESIZE, you can use Mr. Bruff, you can use your indexes, your front bits of your books. Please tell me what they're called. And I saw those in display books, which you can buy in Wilko's for like £1.75. And then they were all neatly like in here. Mind maps are really good, especially if you're writing an essay and it's like discuss this theme. You go to your theme mind map, you pick out some of the points off your mind map, you add the quote and you analyse it from the mind map, and then you add a bit more analysis to, and like add it to the question, you add a bit of author that links to the quote, one paragraph done. So something else that is great is textbooks, and I didn't really use textbooks like until the end of the time. If you want these textbooks, you can take a screenshot without my face in it, please. These are CGP ones. They're kind of relevant to every exam board, but like what I did when I was like really stuffed and I didn't know what I was doing was I read through the textbook, and then for each page I'd like make some pencil annotations, and then I'd get a sticky note and write 1 or 2 points off that page for that theme that I thought were like really useful and could kind of be linked to anything. And then after writing on the sticky note, I stuck it on my wall. It took me about like an hour, 2 hours. It was on a Friday night, the week before the exam, when I realised I haven't revised. And I literally had a wall of like, I don't know, 16 sticky notes of each theme and everything. And just reading through here, it goes all, like you won't remember it all obviously, but reading through here like really like familiarises it with you, and you can read through the plot, that's it, the plot summary. You've got a comic strip at the back. You got exam questions, everything is in these books. Like these are like a £5, so if you're like really struggling with your text, just pick one up. They're good, recommend. Another great thing to do obviously is write essays, practice essays. So we did a lot in class, like we did 1 a week in class, and then my teacher would mark us and tell us where we'd gone wrong, tell us what our strengths were, and I had some really good essays and some really bad essays, and I hated doing it, but it probably was really useful because you get to practice the time management and the essay style. Like my paragraphs were a page long, like I don't think you're meant to do that, but like we did a lot of essays and we had them all marked, and you could see where you were going wrong. If you're going wrong somewhere consistently, you could like improve it. And also Mr. Sal's and Mr. Bruff like let you send in essays, and Mr. Sal's would mark them in a video if you asked him to, I think. So yeah, essays are great. And then when it's like 1 week before the exam and you haven't got time to like write an essay every night and give it to your teacher, essay plans. So I printed off a load of essay questions, highlighted them, and then I'd like 4 or 5 points, so more than I'd do in an actual exam, but just so that I'd made those points. This was on a play, so I would make a point about the question, like agreeing, disagreeing, giving a point of view. I'd link it to a quote, I'd analyse words from the quote, I'd analyse the quote overall, link it to the audience, link it to the author, come to a conclusion for each one. That one, that one, that one and that one. And then I'd add some characters in, link some characters to other characters, make comparisons. If you're like having like one of them days and you're like literally have zero motivation, like I literally want to sit on my bed and cry, instead of doing that, go and watch the movie. Because literally you can sit there with a bag of popcorn and a cup of tea, because that's what I did, and watch the movie with a blanket on, and it's so cozy and you don't feel guilty because you're actually doing something useful. And if the play for your play is being shown near you, if you can, I'd really recommend going to see it. I went to Singing Spectacles, and then I also went to see Pride and Prejudice, which isn't actually a play, it's a book, but I went to see it as a play. And I could have gone and seen Merchant of Venice, but I didn't want to because I don't like Shakespeare. But if you can see the play, then you kind of can relate it to the audience's reaction a lot more, like because you've actually experienced it. So yeah, if you can, I would. I think In Spectacles is touring the UK as a West End production. I'm not sure if they still are because I saw it like 2 years ago, but search it up online. The last thing that I want to talk about is like memorising quotes, because a lot of people struggle with this. What I would say is obviously Mr. Bruff's revision songs, you can learn a few of those. I learned those, but I wasn't going to use them as my basis. I used other quotes, but then I ended up using those songs in the end. And you also want to remember that a lot of people will be using that, so you want to come up with some of your own as well, just so that you haven't got the same quotes as like every other person in the UK. If you are struggling with quotes, off your mind maps there should be like about 4 quotes for each theme character. Pick your favourite one, the one that you can link to the most points, write it on a sticky note, stick it on your wall, take a photo of it on your phone, and then while you're walking to school on the day of the exam you can like go over them. You can go over them wherever you are, you can read them before night, like sit down and like try and remember them all with your back facing it and then turn around and see how many you've got. Like there's so many things you can do, and that's like interactive revision. It's kind of fun, not really, but yeah. So if you've got like say 5 characters and 5 themes, you've literally got 10 quotes, and then while you're in the exam other ones will come to you and you can kind of use those quotes to link to anything if you can. Yeah. My final tip would be the AQA website. They've got like things on how to like write essays, their techniques, and there's the breakdown of marks. You can look at the mark schemes, do practice papers. So AQA website is a really good resource. So guys, I hope you guys found this video really useful. I know I would have done this time last year because I was not doing well in English. English was not my subject. But if you like want other videos based on specific subjects like maths or like history or geography or anything, I could do French, I could do, what other subjects did I take? Science, art. When I get my art folders back I might do an art video. Yeah, but if you want other videos let me know, I will try and do them. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you soon. Bye!